Okay, 6.2, solving systems by substitutions. This is what I kept trying to do when you guys were asking those questions there. So we're going to take 2 days for this session. It really shouldn't take 2 days, but because of the Thanksgiving break, I'm breaking it up. And today you will have a relatively easy assignment. So the first part, we're just going to be looking at systems where either one of the equations or both of the equations are solved for a variable. And then after Thanksgiving, we'll tackle some other ones where you have to do some work. So the term substitution means replace. So we'll be rewriting an equation and replacing a variable for what the variable is equal to. And then once we solve for one variable, we have to go back and substitute and get the value of the other variable. So for our first example here, both of these equations are solved for y. They're both y equals. So we're going to rewrite the first equation, replacing the y with what the y equals. So instead of writing it as y equals, I'm going to take that out. And on that side of the equation, I'm going to replace it with 2x plus 5. So I have 2x plus 5 equals x plus 3. So I rewrote the top equation, and instead of writing that y, I put what y is equal to in its place. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and subtract my x's. I get x plus 5 equals 3. Subtract 5 from both sides and get x equals -2. So I solve for y. Now that I have my answer for y, I'm going to take that and plug that into one of the equations up here. So y equals 2 times a -2 plus 5. 2 times a -2 is -4 plus 5. So y is equal to 1. So our point of intersection is -2, 1. We could have gone to our graphing calculators and plugged those equations in to our graphing calculator, but this is an exact answer for the solution, whereas the graphing calculator might be an approximation, especially with how your calculator gives you the answers. Questions on that? We're replacing values for y and then going through and solving for one variable, taking that value, replacing it again, and solving for the second variable.
Would Desmos be a better calculator for this then?
For the graphing stuff, I would say yes. To find your point of intersections, yes. Okay, so let's look at this one. This one, the top equation is solved for x. And then our second equation says x plus 8y equals 16. So we have it solved for x. Instead of this x in the second sentence or second equation, we're going to replace it with this stuff. So we're going to rewrite the second equation to be 2y minus 4. That's the x stuff. Plus 8y equals 16. So this all represents what x is equal to, and I just rewrote the rest of the equation the way it is originally written. At this point, once you do that substitution, you should only have one variable. If you have two variables in your equation, two different variables in your equation, you have done something wrong. So you want a single variable. So now we're going to simplify this down. So 2y and 8y is 10y minus 4 equals 16. Add 4 to both sides. and we get 10y equals 20. Divide both sides by 10, and y equals 2. We're only halfway done because we have to find the value for x now. We got the value for y. I go back up to the other equation that I didn't rewrite. So x equals 2 times 2 minus 4. So 4 minus 4, and x is equal to 0. So my point of intersection is 0, 2. Any questions?